What's up everybody, it's CJ and I'm back with another Barnacle Bay renovation video. So today I'm going to be furnishing the Hogan's Deep Sea Diner lot. This is the restaurant pirate ship lot that's in the Barnacle Bay. When I think of Barnacle Bay, I think of this lot. So to me, I feel like this restaurant is very important to like the economy of Barnacle Bay. Like I feel like if this place ever gets tourists that come, then like it's one of those places that you just have to visit, you know, like come buy a t-shirt, get some food, get some drinks, take some nice family photos or something, and then, you know, it's just like a big tourist trap. So my goal today was to make this even more of a tourist trap. so needless to say, I added a whole lot of things outside. I don't think this lot is horrible like by default. I mean, it's just like a rabbit hole in like a pier, but I wanted to kind of make this more like touristy and just like add more to it, you know, because I feel like Barnacle Bay is like the underdog of the Sims 3 worlds. Like, and to be fair though, like I can't hate people for not liking Barnacle Bay because like when you compare Barnacle Bay to say like Hidden Springs, like I think they were like some of the first worlds to come out for the Sims 3. When you compare this to Hidden Springs, like it's almost like night and day. Yes, they're different aesthetics, but like, bro, how do you do a good job with Sunset Valley and then Barnacle Bay is just so bad? I don't understand. And mind you, this world costs money. It's not even for free. You have to pay for this world. So, yeah, needless to say, Barnacle Bay gets a bad rep, but it's kind of deserved. But I still like this world, y'all, and I want to make it better, okay? I'm trying my best to make it better. So, as you can see, I'm building this little, like, makeshift stand over here, like a business. At first, I wanted this to be a restaurant, and then I wanted it to be like, you know, you could maybe like a restaurant slash gift shop where you can buy stuff, but you could also eat outside of it. But then as I kept building it, I was like, well, CJ, we're already on a restaurant lot. Do we really need another place to eat? You'll see it a little bit later in the video, but I also add some of those concession stands from Seasons. So I was like, CJ, do we really need another place to eat on a lot that is full of places to eat already? So I do swap out the food register and I swap it out for the general store register, which I guess makes more sense because I wanted this to be more of like a gift shop kind of thing where you could buy toys, souvenirs, maybe like some wind surfboards and stuff like that. Just like a place where you can just buy some extra things, you know. Now, I didn't really furnish this or build this part for you to actually be able to go inside. I mean, technically you could go inside if you wanted to. There is like a little gate right here that lets Sims in, but that was more so for the employees so you could buy stuff from them. But you know, if you want to come inside and take screenshots and whatever, feel free. You know, if you want to edit this lot, feel free to. I don't really care either, but just know that when I like built this, I wasn't really like thinking about like you actually coming inside. More like, you know, you just come buy something, look at the stuff in the window, maybe take some nice screenshots, that kind of thing, you know? So yeah, if you want to go inside, feel free. But as of now, as you can see, I'm adding just a lot of outdoor clutter. So we have a wall speaker, there's a trash can. I was going through the catalog and I was just finding like other like nautical things. I found this sign from Island Paradise. So at first I was going to use the one with the birds on it, but then I was like, why don't we just use like a more subtle sign? So I used the crab swatch and I just recolored it a little bit, you know? This would just be like a little sign for the stand. I also use some of those bright colorful tables from the Island Paradise pack. I do recolor them though, so they're not really as bright and colorful anymore, but I use those tables, and I'm also using these plastic chairs to go with it. I don't really ever use these chairs or tables that much, so it was kind of cool that I was able to use that this time. I was also trying to just find more things for you to do out here, so I was like maybe a couple of spring rides. So my goal was not to have this be like a park, more so like a tourist trap, right? You know, the biggest attraction is the restaurant, but like if you know, maybe if you're waiting for a table, or maybe you're trying to meet someone here, so you could have things to do in the meantime, you know, or maybe if you just wanted some like, you know, little souvenirs, it just gives you things to do in the meantime, right? So like I didn't want to go full on and have like a bunch of stuff outside, but there is a water balloon fight station. There are a couple of spring rides for like the kids and toddlers and stuff like that. I also added a photo booth because, you know, like how can you come to Barnacle Bay and not take a photo, right? Like, you know. So I also added a photo booth. I do have some of those other seasonal concession stands as well, just in case you want to get a quick bite to eat and you don't really want to go to the restaurant, you know, because it is a rabbit hole if you didn't know. So as cool as it is, you can't really see the inside of it. You just, your Sims go to it and they disappear. You know, at least you'll have a place to eat outside of the restaurant, you know. I'm also a little bit sad, y'all, because I would have loved to change the color of the sand. I don't really mind the yellowy sand color, but I would prefer a different one if I had a choice, but I'm kind of stuck with this yellowy sand, so we have that. I do use some terrain paint, so I'm using it's like a gravel, I think, from World Adventures, and I just kind of like go over it that way just to kind of make the lot look a little bit different and a little bit more interesting and a little bit more detailed, you know. Now on the inside of this stand, the lighting is going to be a little bit off because it's not technically a closed like building. It has like a space, so the lights probably won't work that well. You know, I just wanted to kind of look as realistic as I could, so I'm having a couple of these like shelves right here, and I put a bunch of toys on them. So I tried to stick with toys that were kind of like aquatic or nautical in some way. So you'll see that I'm using some shark toys. I also have like some regular plushies, the giraffe plushies. We have like some dolls, and I also use some of those mermaids. I will say that the majority of this lot is Barnacle Bay, Island Paradise in Seasons, but I do use a little bit of store content here and there. Like, for example, that shark toy is, I don't know what set it comes with, but I know it's from the Sims 3 store. I also use like a surfboard object, the ones that kind of stand up. I use those. I think that's like from one of the sets from the Sims 3 store. So there's like some other store content here, but most of this lot I would say is Barnacle Bay, Seasons, and Island Paradise, you know? Oh yeah, I also used that pirate ship toy as well. And then there's also like a little looking glass toy that you can use, so I put that down there on the shelf as well. I also put like a little chair in here. We have a clothes rack. I just see this building as more of like a, you know, maybe you could buy a surfboard or rent one here, or it's more like a souvenir kind of place, you know? So they do like some rentals, but it's mainly just like souvenirs and all that kind of stuff. I do go in and add some curtains just for some extra effect, but I gotta say, y'all, I love how this lot turned out. Like, I genuinely want to play there right now, but I'm not. I gotta record this video, but I like genuinely want to play here like so bad. Like, I hope y'all have a lot of fun playing here, because like I said, Barnacle Bay does get a bad rep. I don't think the world is bad. I just think that a lot of the lots were uninspired, you know, or it could have been at least a little bit better. Kind of sucks, but at least I am going back and trying to make it a little bit better, you know? So as of now, we kind of have like the entry area for the dock. Also, I'm using some of those picnic tables from Seasons, and I'm also using some of these chairs from the Island Paradise pack. Sims should be able to sit down at the picnic tables if they order from the concession stand, but in case they couldn't, I also gave you some regular tables with chairs so you could sit down. I tried to sprinkle a lot of these tables around the boardwalk just so, you know, you could never have a place not to sit. You'll see that there's a statue in the middle. I do go back and put the statue on a foundation. For some reason, by default, you can't put it on a foundation. I was going to use a platform, but it was a little bit too short, so I was like, a foundation, you know, what kind of elevated a little bit to make it more of a focal point for the lot itself, you know? So I go back and I just put a foundation, and I use the Sims 3 tool mod to raise up the statue so you can actually put it up here. And then I do go back and I rope it off, you know, because it's like a historical statue, so I feel like they would definitely have that here. I don't really do that much with landscaping. I do go in and I swap out the original hedge for the one from Into the Future, because this one you can actually recolor. And then I do get rid of some of the plants, but I do keep most of the landscaping here. If anything, I just add some additional flowers and shrubs and stuff like that. I use some of those like pink heather plants around, but I didn't really change too much. If anything, I just added some stuff or like moved some stuff slightly, you know? But I just wanted to kind of like use this hedge because, like I said, you can recolor it. I just wanted to go for like a different green color, you know? I do go in though for this little like walk space. I do go in and I add a couple of those picnic tables from Seasons. I also go back and add some trash cans. I have like other little signs and stuff like that. There was so much clutter that I put off camera, you know, because there was just like so much, y'all. Like, this video took me a while to do. I feel like sometimes it doesn't seem that way because the footage is sped up, but like it took me almost like, well, I know it took me over an hour in real life to do it, but in terms of like the recording, it was like, I think like 40 something minutes or something like that. So yeah, when you speed the footage up, it doesn't seem as bad, but like, just know, yo, I was locked in with this lot. I wanted to give you a lot of things to do, and then I had to kind of hold back on some of my ideas because, for one, this lot is not that big, and two, there is a beach lot that's right beside the restaurant. So, like, for example, I have an idea for a, like, surf shop. I put, like, a small one on this lot, but I didn't want to have, like, a full-on nice one because, like, I feel like it would probably make more sense to have one, like, at the actual beach, you know? So that's an idea that I want to tackle for another time. I guess whenever we get to the beach lot, I'll try to like have a surfboard kind of shop or something like that, or maybe like a bait and tackle shop too, because you can fish, you know. I don't know. I have a lot of ideas, y'all. I'm very hopeful for this world. I'm really excited to get into it. So yeah, I cannot wait to see what I come up with in the future. But yeah, so like I said, I do use a photo booth so you can take some photos and stuff like that. Your Sims can also woohoo inside of them if you didn't know. So you can do that as well. And one thing that I learned, and I don't know how I didn't know, but kids can also take photos in the photo booth, and I did not know that. That's something that you could also do too. You know, if you have like, you know, teens or kids, they come here, you can always have them take photos of themselves, or I guess with other people, you know. Yeah, so that's basically like everything for the left side of the lot. So if over here on the right side, this side is not that big, you know, so I just added a couple of parking spaces. There's only 3, so if you have more than 3 Sims here, then, you know, if they have cars, sorry. But I just wanted to have like a little mini parking space. I'm using these cars from the university pack just to kind of make sure they all look good when they're placed. There's the spring concession stand out here as well. And then I also add like a little park bench by those trees. And then, like I said, I did go back and I made a little mini fake surfboard shop stand kind of thing. You can't actually go inside of it. It's not functional at all. It's just more for decoration and stuff like that, but you'll see it in a little bit. And then one thing that I realized too, y'all, is that this lot did not have a bathroom. So I do go back and I do add a bathroom. So originally I was going to use the all-in-one bathrooms and just have like a wall around them to be like bathroom stalls. But then I realized that the all-in-one bathrooms can break after a while. And, you know, that's just not fun. So I use bathroom stalls instead. So, I mean, they'll probably still break down. Do the bathroom stalls break down if they're on community lots? I feel like I don't know. I just use bathroom stalls because maybe that will fix the issue. But if they still break down regardless, then, sorry. But yeah, you can always swap them out if you want to. But I do squeeze a little bathroom over by the photo booth, you know? And then also one thing I want to point out to y'all. So you'll see that I'm using these wall surfboard objects. Well, one thing that I learned from going back to this lot after I shared it is that, like, I think the game sometimes places them on the ground if they're on the wall. So if you want to fix that, if you have that issue, all you have to do is just like grab the object, just grab it, and then the game will automatically put it back on the wall. And that's all you have to do. Just grab it and let it go. And the game will like automatically place it where it's supposed to be. I'm more so telling you that because for this little like surfboard stand thing that I did, I had to use the tool object to move the surfboard back against the wall because I really couldn't do it because of the way that this building is. It's, like, it's on a diagonal, so you couldn't really like put it there by default. So I do use the Sims 3 tool mod to like move it back. So all you have to do is just grab it, let it go. It's gonna automatically place back to where it's supposed to be. I don't know why the game does that, but it does. I also put a couple of little like lounge chairs out here too, y'all, because I imagine that maybe like someone is selling some handcrafted furniture or something like that. So I did put a couple of those little lounge chairs out here as well. But yeah, this section over here, y'all, is unfunctional. It doesn't work. It's not really meant to work. It's just kind of meant to look nice. So don't expect to actually buy surfboards here because it's not going to work. Again, it's just for the screenshots, you know? But in all, y'all, that is pretty much it for the entire build. I'll say it again, y'all. I love this slot. I hope y'all have a lot of fun playing here. I'm gonna definitely use this slot for something, you know. But anyway, y'all, that is all that I have for this video. Please be sure to stick around for the screenshots, and if you want to download this slot, I'm gonna leave it linked down below. Also too, if you don't know, I'm doing a save file on Barnacle Bay, trying to fix up some of the lots. So I'm gonna make a playlist, and I'll leave the playlist link down below of all of the builds that I've done, because I've done a couple like years ago. So I'm gonna just like kind of reuse some of those if I can. So yeah, if you want to see like me renovate more of these Barnacle Bay lots, I'll leave a link to the playlist down below. But anyway, y'all, that is all that I have for this video. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to leave a like, comment something down below. Follow me over on Twitch while I stream a lot more of The Sims, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Thanks for watching!